How the YouTube Guy Stole Christmas by Ramsrock39. Every viewer down in Twitch liked Christmas a lot, but the Miki who lived just north of America did not. The Miki hated Christmas, the whole Christmas season. Now please don't ask why, no one quite knows the reason. It could be his head wasn't screwed on just right. It could be, perhaps, that his shoes were too tight. But I think the most likely reason of all may have been that his brain was 2 sizes too small. Whatever the reason, his brain or his shoes, he stood there on Christmas Eve, hating the viewers, staring down from his cave with a sour, Miki frown at the warm lighted windows below in their town. For he knew every viewer down on Twitch beneath was busy now, hanging a mistletoe wreath. "And they're hanging their stockings," he snarled with a sneer. "Tomorrow is Christmas, it's practically here." Then he growled, with his Miki fingers drumming nervously. "I must find some way to stop Christmas from coming. For tomorrow, he knew, all the viewers, boys and girls, would wake bright and early. They'd rush for their toys. And then, oh the noise, 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 noise. That's one thing he hated, the noise, 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 noise. Then the viewers, young and old, would sit down to a feast. And they'd feast, and they'd feast, and they'd feast, 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 feast. They would feast on Heroes 3 and Rare Stronghold Crusader, which was something the Miki couldn't stand in the least. And then they'd do something he liked least of all. Every viewer down in Twitch, the tall and the small, would stand close together with Christmas bells ringing. They'd stand hand in hand, and the Who's would start singing. They'd sing, and they'd sing, and they'd sing, 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 sing. And the more the Miki thought of this viewer Christmas sing, the more the Miki thought, "I must stop this whole thing. Why, for 53 years I put up with it now. I must stop this Christmas from coming, but how?" Then he got an idea. A Miki idea. The Miki got a wonderful Miki idea. "I know just what to do! Ha 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 ha!" The Miki laughed in his throat, and he made a quick Santa Claus hat and a coat, and he chuckled and clucked. "What a great Grinchy trick! With this coat and this hat, I look just like Saint Nick. All I need is a reindeer." The Grinch looked around. The Miki looked around, but since reindeer are scarce, there was none to be found. Did that stop the old Miki? No! The Miki simply said, "If I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead." So he called his hero Plebkick. Then he took some red thread, and he tied a big horn on the top of his head. Then he loaded some bags and his old empty sacks on a ramshackle sleigh, and he hitched up old Miki. Then the Miki said, "Get up!" And the sleigh started down toward the homes where the viewers lay a snooze in their town. All their windows were dark, quiet snow filled the air. All the viewers were all dreaming sweet dreams without care. When he came to the first little house on the square, "This is stop number 1, the old Miki Claus hissed. And he climbed to the roof, empty sacks in his fist. Then he slid down the chimney. It was a rather tight pinch. But if Santa could do it, then so could the Miki. He got stuck only once for a moment or two, then he stuck his head out of the fireplace flue, where the little viewer stockings all hung in a row. "These stockings," he grinned, "are the first things to go." Then he slithered and slunk with a smile most unpleasant around the whole room, and he took every present. Pop guns and bicycles, rollerblades and drums, checkerboards, tricycles, popcorns and plums, Heroes 3, Majesty, Stronghold Crusader, Guild Wars Rise of Nations, Modern Warfare 2 players. And he stuffed them in sacks. Then the Miki very nimbly stuffed all the sacks one by one up his chimney. Then he slunk to the icebox. He took the viewer's feast. He took the Who pudding. He took the roast beef. He cleaned out that icebox as quick as a flash. Why, that Miki even took their last can of Hoo Hash. Then he stuffed all the food up the chimney with glee. And now, grinned the Grinch, I will stuff up the tree. And the Grinch grabbed the tree and he started to shove, when he heard a small sound, like the coo of a dove. He turned around fast, and he saw a small viewer, little Raquel dos Santos, who was not more than 2. The Grinch had been caught by this tiny viewer daughter, who'd got out of bed for a cup of cold water. She stared at the Miki and said, Santa Claus, why? Why are you taking... this is gonna take as long as it takes, I don't know. Why are you taking our Christmas tree? Why? But, you know, that old Miki was so smart and so slick. He thought up a lie, and he thought it up quick. Why, my sweet little tot, the fake Santa Claus lied. There's a light on this tree that won't light on one side. So I'm taking it home to my workshop, my dear. I'll fix it up there, then I'll mod you right here. And his fid fooled the child. Then he patted her head, and he got her a drink, and he sent her to bed. And then Raquel went to bed with her cup. He went to the chimney and stuffed the tree up. Then the last thing he took was the disc for their game. Then he went up the chimney himself, the old liar. On their walls he left nothing but uncharged laptops and some wires, and one speck of food. And the one speck of food that he left in the house was a crumb that was even too small for a Rito. Then he did the same thing to the other viewers' houses, leaving crumbs much too small for the other viewers' Ritos. It was 15:15, all the viewers still abed, all the viewers still a-snooze, when he packed up his sled, packed it up with their games, their computers, their laptops, their cell phones, their chats, their emotes, their morale emotes, 3,000 feet up the side of Mount Miki. He rode with his load to the tip-top to dump it. I didn't even have to change that sentence. Pooh-pooh to the viewers. He was graciously humming. They're finding out that no Christmas is coming. They're just waking up, I know just what they'll do. Their mouths will hang open a moment or two. Then the viewers down on Twitch will all cry, boo-hoo! That's a noise, grinned the Miki, that I simply must hear.
Okay, I'm sorry, but
I'm actually at the end.
Oh.
There's like 10 lines left. So he paused, and the Miki put his hand to his ear, and he did hear a sound rising over the snow. It started in low, then it started to grow. But the sound wasn't sad. Why, the sound sounded merry. They couldn't be so. But it was merry. Very! He stared down at Twitch. The Miki popped his eyes. Then he shook. What he saw was a shocking surprise. Every viewer down in Twitch, the tall and the small, was singing without any morale at all. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. He came! Somehow or other, he came just the same. And the Miki, with his Grinch feet ice cold on the snow, stood puzzling and puzzling. How could it be so? It came without spirit of oppression. It came without the Grail. It came without morale artifacts. Taverns, or fountains of youth. And he puzzled 3 hours till his puzzler was sore. Then the Miki thought of something he hadn't before. Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more. And what happened then? Well, on Twitch they say that the Miki's brain was supposed to grow 3 sizes that day. But it didn't, and he stayed as salty as ever. And he was so ugly that everyone died. The end.